Hi there, this is Penelope. This is the first video in a series of very short videos on solving trig equations. Now in this first one we just look at how we can rewrite some information in a form that we could solve it if that was what we were asked to do. So the first one is we need to take a function here written in that format and rewrite it in this format here. Now the first thing to do is to remember that a is the number before the sign, so 2.5, and b is the number before the cos, which allows us then to write r, and it doesn't matter whether you use little r or capital R, it doesn't matter, it's just notation, it's just a formula version, and then we put that into the formula, so we find that r is equal to 2.4 squared plus 3.2 squared. Use your calculators and you find that that is in actual fact 4. Now we need to find alpha, and alpha using the formula that you're given is b over a, so it's 3.2 over 2.4 using your calculators, and because it's to do with time we need our calculators set in radians, so therefore alpha is equal to 0.927 radians. Putting that all together, we can rewrite x equals 2.4 sine omega t plus 3.2 cos omega t. We can rewrite that as being, and this is exactly the same, there's no change, it's just a different way of writing it, 4 times sine omega t plus 0.927. And if you're using Desmos, you can check by drawing the first one and then the second one, and you'll find that they are the exact same graphs, they are the same function. Here is a slightly different one. It's got a number out the front which we'll just ignore for the moment, and then here is the trig bit that we need to rewrite in the form v1 sine something. So we're going to write, we'll just leave the 120 for a minute, we're going to write that a is 150 because it's the number by the sign, b is 100, and that allows us to write r. Now we can already see that for this specific example we're not going to call it r, it's got a name, it's v1, but it's worked out the same way. It's going to be 150 squared plus 100 squared, and the square root of that, which is approximately 180. Then we can find, now this time it's not alpha, it's called phi, but that's just its name, it's nothing different. It's going to be the inverse tan of a over b, which would be 100 over 150, and using your calculator set in radians it would be 0.588 radians. Now we can put that together and say that v is equal to 120 plus 180 sine rho t plus 0.588. Now the question then says find the maximum value of v0 or v in total. Okay, so v0 must be the 120, v1 is 180. Okay, we've got that, we've got phi. Now the maximum value of v is going to be where the second part is maximized, because you can't change 120, so you must be looking to find the maximum value of the second part. And if you think about that, then the sine part of that is the only bit that you can change. 180 is 180, so the maximum is where sine is maximised, and that is maximised at 1. So the maximum value of sine is 1. So we need to then just note that. So then, in putting it all together, then the max value of V must be 120 plus 180 times 1, which is 300. Now, it's an applied question, so put in the unit.